All right. Hello, everyone. We are back with another episode of The Difference. And today's going to be a little bit different. We're going to talk about teaming, but really show some of the highlights of a lot of the leaders that we've had, Alexis, in the past,
Yeah.
because a lot of them have touched on this transformation we're going through. So Vicky, Q, Michael is going to be on there.
Mhm.
Tyler's going to talk a little bit about it. And we're going to put all those pieces together. So some of you may not have been able to see some of those episodes. And so this will put it all in one place. And we'll have kind of a time capsule on all the conversations that we've had on teaming, which should be fun.
Absolutely. Yeah, it'll be nice to have all of the nice tactical pieces of information, best practices, and things that trial and errors as well that they've gone through that will be in one spot, one location.
That's right. And it's March Madness. We have.
Yes.
Have you filled out your bracket yet, Alexis?
Yes, I did.
Good.
Yeah.
Who do you have winning the tournament?
Yeah. Whoever's in your winning bracket.
Yes, I have. As of now, I haven't actually submitted, but as of now, I have Gonzaga winning it all.
Me too. Great
Oh,
minds
really?
think alike.
That's
Yeah.
odd.
Yeah.
That's odd. Big
Weird.
fan, huh?
Yeah.
You know where they're from? You know?
They're from a place in the U.S. California. Colorado.
Right.
California.
Oh, California.
Yes.
Yes.
I actually have a jersey.
That's who I've winning. When this airs, I don't know. Hopefully they're still in the tournament, but that's who I have winning. This year's up in the air. Really up in the air because we've talked about this before, but it's all in one spot. The same teams that typically in it aren't in it, like Duke's out. But anyways, so this is the middle of March Madness. The other thing for this month is also what else are we celebrating this month?
We are celebrating Women's History.
Women's History.
Yeah.
Right. It's the month of March.
That's right.
Which is good. We kicked that off last week across the company, and it's an awesome celebration and doing different things. In fact, we're going to have a day, which won't air for a bit, with somebody that we'll be talking about just that topic. So it should be fun.
Yeah, no, I'm excited. We've had a lot of really talented women on our podcast so far as well. And so it's been nice to hear their stories, hear a lot of their accomplishments, and just things to resonate with. So it's been pretty great. Excited
awesome.
for Lacey's episode too.
Yeah, it's coming up.
It is.
All right. In the meantime, here is highlights, tips, and tricks for teaming. I hope you guys enjoy.
Enjoy it.
All right. So you've been in your store, Tyler. You've been in your store how long?
4.5 years.
4.5 years. Got it. So we came into your store from a people team. How many years ago?
What was it? 2.5 years ago now?
2.5 years ago. So we strolled into town 2.5 years ago and turned your world upside down.
Yeah, you came in more like a wrecking ball than just
The
a
wrecking
stroll.
ball. Well, let's keep that to ourselves, Tyler. Let's not go that far. Yeah, it was for sure. And we had a short timeline. We came in and literally turned the store upside down from a process perspective, from a people perspective, and really tried to understand what this new future operating model was going to look like. And then if you look at how you lead now, or just even your routines, what's changed between now and then?
I mean, everything has changed for me. The biggest thing is just how I manage. I've really had to change the way in which I approach associates, I approach situations. So it's been a lot more time, really teaching and training, which, 2.5 years ago made me really open my eyes to the fact that, we thought we did a good job of really teaching our associates, but when it comes to teaming and empowerment, you realize there's a lot further we have to go in depth with associates. And so really just spending the time with associates, giving them my knowledge as much as possible, but not necessarily giving them tasks or note-oriented direction. So really spending a lot of time encouraging them, showing them, how to take those steps and not being afraid to fail. And that was really the biggest thing that I had to teach myself, is to kind of relinquish that control a little bit more, and same thing with my team.
I think that COVID it's been hard, and there's a lot of negative things about COVID that affect all of us. But within COVID, it has brought out leadership capabilities, and I can only speak for myself and my store because this is where I am. It has brought out more leadership capabilities than I even think we knew we had. That you spend time with your team, right? But I learned in that moment that my team actually believes in the vision. They believe, and they fought, and we had meetings, and they fought, and we had meetings. And then Drew, you and your team came, and we had like really just kind of started dabbling in teaming, right?
Yep.
We were not all the way there. And I am one of those store managers, I go home and process things. So if we did something great that day, great. I give great shout outs. But if we did something and we're kind of missing the mark, as a leader, I go home and think about it. And I'm invested in my people. It's just kind of what I am. I'm not anybody without them. So during the holidays, we were getting hit with all this freight. The morale was going down. And I was like, okay, I'm losing them. How do I get it back? Like, how do I get them back to where I need them to be? And I have never in my whole entire career gave myself this answer. Back off. Trust them.
Wow.
We have installed and we have had many meetings with them, and they are strong and they know what to do. Leave them alone. Back away from these team leads and let them lead. Are they going to have some hiccups? Of course. I still have hiccups. It comes with the territory.
When you start looking at the teaming aspect of it and those 10 supervisors taking on more responsibility, what was that process like for you?
It was a struggle at first because they were just supervisors of notes, right? Not thinking on that next level of how do I conquer the freight that's being left for me, or how do I conquer the swaths, or how do I, what's the next planning? So that was a challenge for them because we as management and as them as associates, just even being supervisors, hourly supervisors before teaming, we gave them notes. It was all about notes, which it still is to some degree, but now they need to be making the notes. Okay. And so when I first came in, I gave all the notes and made sure that, they were getting it done. But eventually they started doing the notes and I didn't have to write notes. They were already starting to see what I expected or that teaming was expecting. And so then they were making sure that their team understood. One thing I will tell you that I just loved for my store, because my store was tiny, right? Yep. They had boards and it showed who was in each team, right?
Got it.
And it would tell them what is accomplished for the day, which I think now all transitions into the app that we have today.
Yep, sure.
Yeah. But I loved how they came in and they didn't talk. Nobody talked to anybody. I mean, to say hello or to have a huddle, right, sure. But they already knew what the expectation of the day was. They go, I go stock this and then I'm going to do top stock. And they already knew. They knew step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. And then when they were done, they knew to go to that team and go, hey, I'm done for the day. Does my next person need help, or what would you like me to work on next? So I love that aspect of it. When I started to give them more empowerment and I started stepping back away from them.
So on that note, when we just went through this teaming thing, we rolled out teaming. We're right in the middle of it. How have you thought through that and educate some of your team leads that may be in your market? So they may be new to role, they may be doing a new job. How do you bring them along through this process as they're now becoming their first job as a leader, right? You went through this as a DM, but this may be their first time as a leader. How do you walk them through that as a market manager? How do you educate them? What are some of the tactics you use?
As you think about being a team lead, and you're no longer just guiding yourself, you're guiding a team, you're developing a team, you're bringing them along with you. Your success or failure completely depends on how well you engage, or on the failure side of it, how well you're disengaged, or how you're disengaged with your team. So we talk a lot about that when we're looking at the behaviors of whether it's process or whether it's teaming behaviors and how they're engaging in their team, being doers, right? A lot of times people fail to that. They want to go do things versus how can I see what my team can accomplish for me? And I, get dirty almost when you want to, not because you have to, so to speak. So I really look at the behaviors and try and teach them to see the behaviors of their They're associates, they're teaming associates. If you've got somebody that's like, hey, I did this, look at me, it's almost not the behavior that, hey, look at what our team is accomplishing, look at what we have accomplished.